You're looking at the city of Keshanar within the Kingdom of Keshanar, which is a new 5e compatible setting. It's founded by David Haddon, who had it basically as his homebrew for about 40 years. He's inspired by ancient Egypt, loves the detail of ancient Egypt, and then created a fantasy world inspired by it, and then retired and decided to do something else, namely create his world.
There you go.
Right? So here it is. So he's been working on it for 30 plus years, but we just started as a business last year.
I love it.
Yep. Our Kickstarter is April 8th. Check it out.
All right, that's my birthday.
What's your birthday?
Yes, April 8th. That's crazy. Unbelievable. Thank you so much, and happy birthday to you and your company. So the map right behind.
Yes. So this is the capital city of the Kingdom of Keshanar. So this is Keshanar City. So all of this that you see drawn was worked on by Egyptologists who are on staff with us. Egyptologists we consult with who are in Egypt. And then also the architectural detail, Dave consulted architects.
Wow.
All of these little buildings are then built out by those same people within the Unreal Engine.
Okay.
So think of this not as a video game. It's not a video game. It's a 3D map, right? So you can walk around within the city.
Really?
Yeah,
so instead of a virtual tabletop, it is a living environment.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. But then if you want to play a BTT with good maps, take the aerial view, overlay a grid, and then you've got your battle map for virtual.
So it has a built-in grid.
Yes.
How awesome.
Yep. And so this is this.
Okay.
In full detail, every one of those buildings is within this environment.
How great.
In that homebrew that he was building and building and building for these last 30 years, he wanted very carefully to honor the culture of ancient Egypt so that it's a fantasy world, but he really went to great lengths to make the details right.
Okay.
Right? Like to really get elements of the architecture. So for instance, these guys are tiles. Dave made these recently.
Okay.
So you can see the details of this wall. He went to Egypt to study this. So, and then this is taken from a sketch that he made in Egypt in December. So the way that these are sort of off center and the tile, they're wonky, the lines are sort of wonky.
Yes.
They did that because it's more earthquake proof.
Okay.
Irregular.
Okay.
Right. So that irregular design for your battle tiles he studied it in Egypt.
Yeah, and I would say, like, just out of my own creativity and imagination, I would not have believed that was the formation. It really does well to present that. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's literally from a sketch ad.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Tiles are part of one of the Kickstarters here. These little canoptic jars right here.
Okay. So these are the reward levels and the unbelievable.
So this is you, this first-person perspective, right? But then, like, as you fly around, you can walk around within the city too, right? And so, as you're moving, all of these distances are what you would need to know to run an encounter within the city. So then, if you go aerial and overlay the grid, you've got the actual correct proportions of what's going on.
Awesome. Yes. Well, it looks awesome. All the textures are fantastic. The lighting engine. Keshanar.
Yep, Kingdom of Keshanar.
Kingdom of Keshanar. April 8th.
Yep.
Thanks.
This turn. You see, so there are if you
yeah, you can have that.
That's not a one. That's not a one. That's not just.
That's not a white tree.
And it's massive maw. And you are mashed by his teeth.
See that?
Yeah.
Unconscious. So I'm literally unconscious in his mouth.
On a lot of these, going to be Kickstarter.
We've got our scarab beads, hand carved, and those are our inspiration tokens. We've got the the tomb tiles.
Yes.
So we have all the setup for the tomb. They've been vetted by our Egyptologist team and all of the architecture team that we have.
Beautiful. I got to see a live demo this morning upstairs.
Oh, awesome.
So I picked
Were you
that up
playing
as
in the
well.
game?
I was in like special made out to it's very much so we have this procession going down the street. Even here in Fantasy Reno, basically Bourbon Street, that is Troll Town. The streets are immaculate. You've seen it outside the city. The dusty Fantasy Bourbon Street streets are immaculate. Oh, right, exactly. Yeah. Even here, the city itself is pretty clean. You've seen the dust bar outside of the city. They are a necromantically created fire force that fights outside the
So we're at 216 at 3 o'clock. We'll begin the auction, and we'll be moving at a rapid pace. We have many awesome events. Thank you to Orthane Press, the producers of the Kingdom of Keshanar, who are our sponsors. Big time thanks to Jerry Stern, who's right over there.
So my name is Dave Haddon. I'm here with my team from Orthane Productions. We're developing the Kingdom of Keshanar. And it's an incredible honor to be able to be a sponsor for this event and just to be here. Oh, sorry. Better? You know, TTRPG and D&D is really emerging from our basements into kind of a common social consciousness, more and more. Not just because they finally made a good movie, although that probably helped, but I think it's because of events like this that we're making bigger contributions, right? Like last year I was on a panel for the impact of TTRPG on mental health. So there's this expanding clinical body of evidence showing that it's, incredibly beneficial in so many ways, both in terms of our health, but also in terms of education, right? So, this TTRPG is being incorporated in education more. Why? Because it uses experiential learning. And experiential learning is like the most effective way to learn anything. It's basically like simulation. It's why we use it to train our pilots that way, right? And that's kind of where we come in. So we're taking that kind of educational angle. We're building an Egyptian-themed setting, which I've been homebrewing since high school, so it's kind of element of lifelong dream. I was inspired by Tracy and Laura Hickman, Desert and Desolation series. And so the idea is that you kind of learn a lot about ancient Egypt while you're going along. And we're really digging into that kind of authenticity, right? So we took our design team to Egypt in December, and we have an actual Egyptologist on staff. And it's really paying off, because it's like making the experience better, it's making, helping with the rolling suspension of disbelief. But here's one of the big take-homes is we were actually invited to sponsor an Egyptology conference by the American Center for Research in Egypt in San Francisco next month. And that's just good for everybody, right? So people want to increase the size of the table. I love that concept. We're trying to increase the size of the table. We're trying to get more players into the game so that we can continue to have that ever-expanding positive impact in society. So, a bit early, bit often. May the best of the God of luck bless all of your roles.
Okay, 2 years in a row.